In an instant I felt like little Ken again, in that all too familiar position of waiting for whatever it was that was bad and heading my way. Chapter 1. When the idea of writing an autobiography was suggested to me at various times over recent years, I think the factor that always held me back was whether I was willing to be really honest about how my incredible career played out over the 40-something years I was in Judas Priest. From the outside, people, fans, always think being in Judas Priest must have been amazing. They toured the world, played music, there was money, there were girls. It's the perfect life. For some of the time, it was the perfect life. But just like anything, it doesn't go perfectly every single day of the week. If it did, it would become boring and predictable. Two adjectives that I got into a band to avoid ever having to confront. What I've come to realize in recent years is that although a person can walk away from something to present a particular impression or preserve an image and be doing that for some reasons that seemed right at the time, sometimes the need to be honest and forthright about certain happenings is much fairer, not only to the fans, but also to everyone involved with the band. In so doing, it seems to me that the slate is wiped far cleaner than when things are left unsaid, incomplete and vague. And when I left Judas Priest, things were certainly left unsaid, incomplete and vague. So, with that being said, I changed my mind about writing about my life for reasons that I think are in everybody's best interests, and all the people who are discussed and implicated are people whose company, ability and friendship I value a great deal, and will continue to do so long after I finish writing this book. Nothing will ever devalue my time in Judas Priest, but it is important to me that all the facts as I see them are laid out for the fans to laugh at, cry to, grit their teeth with frustration, and of course go out and buy more Judas Priest albums when they've finished listening. Therefore, everything I've written in this book is either how I remember it or my opinion of events that I lived through. Obviously, I don't remember everything. A lot of these events happened a very long time ago. But as I've gone through the enjoyable process of dredging through more than 5 decades of memories, I've come to realize that there are aspects to my life that I'd never really thought about until now. This delayed reaction is neither a good thing nor is it a bad thing. It's just life and the perspective that it brings you. By and large, I've enjoyed reminiscing. When I first started thinking about writing my life in and out of Judas Priest, as I tried to identify and prioritize all the things I wanted to say and thoughts I wanted to get across, the feeling that I just couldn't shake was the idea that a person's upbringing shapes everything that happens later. Everything. In my case, that's especially true, to the extent that it sometimes feels like I've spent my entire life trying to escape where and who I came from. No matter what I'm doing, and it even applied to the most exhilarating moments at the absolute height of Priest life in the late 80s, I still catch myself thinking, or making subconscious decisions, as if I still were little Ken from a black country council estate in the Midlands of England, with holes in my shoes, rather than KK from Judas Priest. Sometimes that's a good thing. My upbringing taught me a lot about how not to live, but it can also be negative. On a few occasions, I may have been guilty of holding myself back or unintentionally alienating people who are close to me. If you're lucky enough to have a stable, loving family life, that's great. In theory, you're set up for life. But when you grow up in a difficult family environment, believe me,